Well, hello, everybody, and welcome to the Red Hare Inn, and welcome to Dust, a spoopy themed mini series here that me, as your guest GM Taryn, will be running. But first order of business, we have a very special person in this freaking community that we need to wish a very happy birthday. So happy birthday, Renee! So
Happy
much love.
birthday, Renee.
Happy birthday, love.
Get it out of your systems. I know it's all there. Just
I love you.
there you go.
Eddie Blues.
Yes. Okay. So happy birthday. We love you. Okay. First on the agenda. I don't know. We don't have agendas around here, but first up, let's go around real quick and do some player introductions. So tell us who you are, where we find you real quick, and then who you're playing. So let's go ahead and start out with Shelby.
Oh no, it's always
Yep.
me. Unfortunate. Okay, hi guys. My name's Shelby. You can find me on socials. Wish Warlock. I will be playing Jules Devereaux, a dark-skinned halfling who nothing happens to them. They're super normal. They just like traveling, and that's it. That's it. Okay. Just want everybody to know nothing else happens to them. They are wearing a like blackish and red leathers, about average height for a halfling that I just found out, I think yesterday, 3 feet. They have braids, short braids, golden brown eyes, and a sweet, sick looking tattoo that is a golden pseudo dragon that goes all the way up their left arm, and a little white scar on their eyebrow. And that is it for Jules.
Awesome. Lizzie.
Hi, I'm Lizzie. You can find me on socials at the Lizzie LD. I'm very excited to be here tonight. I will be playing Granny Sophia. She's an old lady, just a normal average warlock who's just stuck adventuring, bound forever in service and never free. She's about 5 foot, old lady syndrome, little old lady syndrome, and she dresses pretty unassuming. Brown traveling clothes, does have a strange sort of oil lamp with her at all times. That's her deal.
Completely unassuming. I guess the whole party is just unassuming and perfectly normal.
Yeah, I think that's the theme that you'll see
Yeah.
when you hear the rest of the party.
Yeah. Daniel?
Yes, 100% normal. Things that can describe me and my character, not at all. Hi everyone, I'm Daniel Lieberman, known by many simply as Dragon. I am one half of Dragon Rock RPG Design, where along with the birthday boy Renee, I design supplemental material for Dungeons and Dragons 5e. This includes subclasses, races, magic items, all that kind of stuff. You can follow us at Dragon Rock RPG on Twitter and Facebook, and at Dragon Rock RPG Design on Instagram. That's rock spelled R-O-C without a K. It's like the giant mythical bird, not the shard of stone or the style of music, or the wrestler turned richest actor in the world kind of thing. You can find several of our supplements on DM's Guild. Warlocks, barbarians, rangers, icons of horror, which I know works for Taryn because subclass is based on iconic horror villains, and we got a whole lot of other stuff in the pipeline. We also love collaborating with other members of the community as consultants and collaborators, which I get to do with Logan on the Red Hare Inn here every once in a while. And we also do things by commission, so look us up. And I'm really excited to get into this miniseries with everyone and play my Gloomstalker Ranger Gem Dragonborn Carrick Nor, who is about 6'5", shadow black scales that when the light catches them glint with amethyst, and deep violet dark purple eyes. Carries a bow, a silver elven scimitar, doesn't wear armor, scales are all he needs, and you'll find out more later.
Completely unassuming and normal. All right, Miss April.
Sorry, everybody. I'm a little under the weather. So if I sound weird. My name's
He's
April
just really
Hill.
into character. Just real into character.
Yeah, it's like I've been underwater with COVID. My name is April Hill. You can find me at stiletto_assassin on Instagram and stiletto DM on Twitter. As well as I'm the community manager for a little company called Modifius. So if you like the 2D20 system and playing skirmish games and board games, games like Star Trek Adventures, Dune, Adventures in the Imperium, Fallout, which, I mean, who doesn't love Fallout? Stuff like that. We make games like that. So yeah, I help run the socials and community management for that. Also, tonight I am playing Calypso. Calypso, if you want to like put some flavor into it, because you can call me Kai usually with all my characters. So Calypso is a water genasi moon druid. She clearly comes from the sea. She's got flowing hair that resembles almost seaweed flowing in the deep ocean. She's got a cape that, or rather a cowl that she wears that that resembles a net, so it's functional and fashion. But she her skin is always glistening and dripping with seawater, and she does smell of the sea and of seaweed and of sandalwood.
And I'm a lot more boring because I am Taryn, also known as a real Rook across the socials. I do have Umbral Oculus on TikTok, which I kind of do. And then, of course, if you want to check out my dices, I'm also a dice maker. It's EO_dice on the Instagram. There are a couple people using them. This session we'll see how they roll against their mummy. I am being your dungeon master this evening. And I'm very excited to step foot back into my realm of horror. Not extreme horror like usual, but elements of it.
Not extreme, just
not
a little bit.
Well, I have to clarify because I run Cult Divinity Lost. But we can go ahead and begin setting the stage tonight. So this does take place in Cantor, just toward the northern edge. And what right now, if you're watching the Ecrium expeditions, is 300 years prior to that timeline. This is the year 71. So, for one reason or another, you have all taken to the roads. And lo and behold, on your travels, roads slowly converge. These paths cross, and often, especially for this time and for this area where mass kind of transit is just not a thing at the time, it's mostly farming communities, rolling hills, lush wheatgrass, flowing farms, creeks. It's not exactly a place that's well traveled for tourism or anything else. It's usually quite quaint and peaceful, and there's a light breeze that usually rolls through. This is a place where families raise their kids, farm, and rinse and repeat. As your paths had crossed adventuring, you kind of had small talk, eventually realizing as this small party somewhat forms, there's a massive storm rolling in, which you point out you sought shelter and stayed the night at the local farmer, helped him out, and hit the road the next morning after some unseemly events, but probably not much different than some of you have seen. Not that unusual. It's not great, but you've probably seen worse. And it's a pretty bright, sunny morning for the most part. You make your way down these maybe 3 to 4 foot wide, kind of dirt cobbled trails. You can tell that there are wagon marks in the road as you go, but not much. It's usually by foot. There's some hoof marks on occasion. Beside you, there's rolling hills covered in just flowing tall grass, occasionally passing by cornfields, the occasional happy scarecrow, waves to greet in the wind. But for the most part, it's pretty calm. And this is how you make your way through the day. So, morning becomes afternoon. Would the party... What is the kind of marching order? For no particular reason.
I'm sure I'm gonna die for this, but Jules Devereaux is definitely out in front. They are very young and so very reckless, and all we're doing is walking. So I'm in the front.
No big deal. Who's in the back?
To be in the back.
Definitely Calypso's in the back. Okay.
No,
I'd probably
Not-
be.
definitely not in the back.
Not in the back.
I can be in the back. I can be keeping the weather eye on the rear. Carrick, as he's walking, is probably got a small piece of wood and a carving knife. And as they walk, is just whittling away on it and shaping it and shaving it.
You can put that tail to good use. I'm sure it could be an early warning detection device.
My senses are rather keen, to say the least.
Kind of
Granny,
looks
going
from
up
side to side.
Granny, you gonna be up in the middle with me?
Well, that would put me there. So, we'll be raspy voiced ladies.
So you continue to make your way down this trail, whittling all the way. Carrick, at one point, while making your way down this road, as you step, as you are, I'm assuming, barefooted.
Yeah, it's talons.
That's just par for the course on this on this channel. That's just what we do.
Absolutely. I couldn't not play a barefoot character on an Equilibrium game. Come on.
So, as you're making your way down, eventually you step on something that kind of sticks
My way.
between your toes. And you go to shake your foot loose, and it's a wood carving. It's a piece of the wood that you'd whittled off.
I look at it, reach down. Actually, I'll reach around with my tail and just kind of use the tip to sort of pluck it out from between my toes.
Okay, and you continue onward.
Did you get a splinter?
No,
Granny might have a needle or something to pick it out.
I think that's very stereotyping of you young ladies,
Well, I'm assuming.
but I might. It's very practical as well.
Looking at it, does it look like the shaving from where I was just carving?
No. In fact, there is still a bit of tree bark from a while back.
But it does look like it was
This piece.
piece of wood. But
this should not be here.
Could it have just been caught on your clothes and then fell recently?
There's not that many clothes for it to catch on. It's possible, but
Maybe it caught on one of my clothes. I've got plenty of wrinkly pieces. Flew over. I'm just saying. It's here, so something must have happened.
puts it in his pocket. Twitches like he thinks he hears a whisper in his ear. Shakes it off. Keeps walking.
Jules, as you're walking ahead, you hear this going on behind.
Mm-hmm.
And you could swear off in the distance. You can just hear clamoring and just chatting. And just vaguely over the wind, you hear, I swear, you're walking into some shit. And you just hear, and before it kind of just dwindles away.
Granny, did you say something?
I was talking to him about where that piece of wood came from.
Right. The the wood, right? Okay. Never mind. I just keep walking.
Jules, did you hear something?
No.
Then why did you ask if anyone heard anything?
It was the wind, I suppose. You know, it's loud in the country.
The wind can have a lot to say if you know how to listen to it.
Nope,
Sometimes
not
too
like
much
that,
to
Granny.
say.
Not like that. Mm-mm. The wind
I
didn't
think
say
I know.
anything. Mm-mm.
Thank you for the raid.
Thank you, Raiders.
Thank you. So, you continue to make your way. It goes for another few hours, pretty unassuming. Nothing else unusual, no more voices. Nothing on the wind. And you kind of start getting into late afternoon. Before passing by what would have been, it looks to be a kind of a small farming cottage. It's no more than like a 10 by 12. You can see this is something that you've seen walking through this region as a whole thus far. These houses are built rather quickly. Most of them don't have to be built very sturdy. The weather is usually really pleasant, so sometimes there's glass built into them and sometimes not so much. But the weather is almost always that perfect, pleasant 72 degrees, light breeze. So what catches you first and foremost as being odd, as you continue to make your way, you begin to notice that some of the fields that you're passing, there are dead patches or wilting, where it just doesn't look quite as full. What catches you as odd as you begin to come upon this small cottage is that the wood is very water damaged, which is unusual for many reasons, considering that most of the time these woods are oiled and well taken care of. But it almost seems to be decaying. And you all know that, one, they don't have supply issues out here. It's all pretty attainable and pretty prosperous. You know that these houses, they'll be taken down and put back up, but most of them in this area are fairly new. But the thing that catches you the most is that the door is left slightly ajar, and that one of the pillars in the front is broken. And there are scratch marks all along the door frame. And for as bright as it is outside, the inside of this cottage is dark.
And we all see this?
Oh, yeah. If you would like to see further details, obviously you're all welcome, or whoever would like to do so may make me a perception check.
I'll go ahead. Yeah.
To look
First rolls of the game.
Why not?
Granny
Oh,
doesn't like it and she's not looking at it.
Wow. Natural one, Taryn.
Oh wow, I did better than you after all. I got a 2.
Can I look at the fields instead of
Yes.
the house?
Yes, you can.
Nature or still perception?
Natural 17
you can do
for
nature.
a total of 26.
26 on perception for the house.
Also, Taryn, that activates my
Yes,
thing.
it does.
First roll.
Does do the thing.
Cool. Would you like me to roll, or would you like to roll?
I would like you to roll, and I would like you to... We'll let you go ham with this first one in a second. What'd you get, April?
I did perception instead on the fields, and it was a 26.
26. Okay. So we'll start. Carrick, you begin to peer at this house. And you find yourself almost hyper-focusing and zooming in on this door frame. You see 5 digits on both being pulled. You can tell these are nail marks of a humanoid. But whatever it was trying to come out, not go in.
So something tried to claw its way out of this before the door was opened.
Something was trying to get out of the house and was pulled back in.
Now, do these look like claw marks or more like just human scratches?
Like humanoid nails, because of the very round shape. Calypso, as you peer around at the fields, you see all of the plant life surrounding this house rotting. It is not drying up. It is rotting. It is almost like a blast zone. But you can just see as you progressively get closer to these very lush fields, it gets to better health, but as it gets closer to this cabin, to this house, it's dying.
Something evil is in that house. Or what?
Something wanted out of that house.
Jules. Go ham.
I rolled a 1 again.
Mm-hmm.
So you guys see Jules as she's looking at the house, she closes her eyes and drops down to one knee. I now have disadvantage on the next attack roll, ability check, or saving throw. And I grunt.
Granny will, like, with her cane, just sort of like gently bop you on the shoulder. What's wrong with you?
Ow! Granny!
Gently.
Oh! Sorry. I'm
Do
fine.
you need a good berry?
Do those taste good?
Well, I can conjure up one that tastes like honey and lemon.
Oh, I'll
It
take
helps
one.
soothe the throat.
Oh, absolutely. That's what I needed. It was a throat issue. That's what it was.
I will give you.
Can I do an insight check? Jules.
Party checks already started. Do it.
right.
Please make your deception, Jules.
Where is it?
I believe in you.
14.
That would be a 16 for me.
I'm lying. Absolutely lying. There's nothing wrong with my throat.
That was a sharp pain.
Mm-hmm.
I understand. We're strangers, but I don't like liars.
Mm-hmm.
About that time, the door creaks further open as a slight breeze just rolls through.
Carrick has taken his bow off his back and it's in his hand. I am going to start to creep slightly slower because you said it was darker there. So I'll start moving towards the house. Because of my background with it, does this unnatural sort of darkness and feel in any way Shadowfell-like? I will roll whatever check you want.
You can tell this. Make an Arcana check.
Excellent. Something
Look
I'm
at
not
you.
good at. Still a 17 though.
17. This doesn't feel of this plane, but it does not feel familiar in that regard.
So it doesn't feel like the Shadowfell, but it does feel like something else piercing into this, like I've
Something-
experienced with the Shadowfell.
Something's wrong. There's definitely some sort of probable magic afoot. Can't really pinpoint what it is, but it's not of the Shadowfell.
Do
About
we
that time,
investigate?
as you get closer,
Who says we're getting closer?
you no sooner say, "Should we investigate?" than you see a chicken run down the road right behind Jules.
Son of a bit.
It's just going along. This does not look like the chickens you had seen prior, but
It doesn't have glowing red eyes.
no, it does not.
I much
Of
prefer
course.
the chicken of the sea to these cluckety cluck cluck animals on land.
They do make a lot of noise. I will give you that. What are we doing? Just so I know the game plan here. Are we going closer to the house? Are we checking out that chicken because of our past experiences? What's the game plan?
I mean, personally, I say we didn't see anything and we head right on.
How
Do
far
you
away is
not
the
all
chicken?
feel that something is wrong here?
Oh, I feel that, and that's why I say right on past. Personally.
How far away is the chicken?
It's scuttling along. So at this point, it's maybe 20 feet. Seems moving fairly briskly. It's just,
I would like to speak with the chicken.
Yes.
okay, do it.
Absolutely.
Chicken. You. Come here that I may speak with you. You
It looks
foul
so
creature.
flipping confused. Like its head is tilted and it like stops, cocks, and like slowly approaches, and it's like poofing up.
I'm
as
not
it
going
approaches.
to eat you. I don't like the.
It like squints.
I promise. But do you know what is going on here at this farm?
Like looks over. Its eyes grow really wide and looks back at you and then begins to back away.
I'm talking to you. It is rude to walk away from somebody that is talking to you.
Blue lady did that, and as it begins to like back away. Is it
Wait, did
things-
it say the blue lady or a little
The
lady?
blue. It says the blue lady looking at you and then looking at the house. It like seems to think you are behind.
It's a bird brain. It doesn't know what it's talking about. It thinks that I did this to this house.
Then you
but
hear,
I have never been
and
here
as it
before.
turns, it just runs. Like it starts booking. And you can hear, because you're still talking to it, you just hear, Blue lady! Blue lady! As it's running.
Maybe I will eat it later.
You hear some birds in the distance like tweeting, and they also say, Blue lady!
They're talking about a blue lady, and they said it's me, but it was not me. I was here with you.
Are you sure?
You just hear tweeting in the distance. Like you hear, and they're just like, then you hear danger as a bird flies overhead. As another one goes, Blue lady danger.
Apparently, there's another blue. Maybe it might not be someone like me, but maybe someone like me did this, but it was certainly not me because I was with you.
The more you say that, the more suspicious it sounds. But I also do not
Could I have
think
been
you
with
would
in
did this.
one place and not with you. How could I have been here and with you at the same time?
Again, I actually don't think you have done anything, but the more you say it, you do sound more suspicious. That's
I'm with
all I'm
Carrick
trying
on
to
this
tell you.
one. Yeah,
Uh-huh.
it's just
The
the
bird
repeated
brain.
denial to like,
Absolutely.
how
Keep
could it be
saying
me?
it.
Well,
Mhm.
really makes me
door-
start thinking, how could it be? There's many dangerous magics in this world. Could it? We don't know when this happened exactly.
The door slams open.
See,
And
not
Carrick's
me.
ear, the part of his head that has his ears just kind of like is just like really everyone was talking way too loud, and just kind of turns his gaze that way.
Granny sort of pulls her walking staff across herself somewhat defensively. Do we see anything in the doorway?
It is so dark in that house. By the way, there is no glass on this house. There are no curtains. It is dark in this house.
Just like as black as your background?
Yeah.
Okay. This is bad, but someone might be in there and they might need our help. So
Or they might be dead, but there's only one way to find out. And Carrick starts walking towards it. And as he starts walking towards darker bits, any parts of his body that pass into darkness disappear entirely. None of you can see him as soon as he does.
As you
That's
go
suspicious.
in, you have decent dark vision, correct?
I also have 10 feet of blind sight.
Yeah. So what would have been you stumbling over a broken chair, you stop. As you begin to look around, there are large gash marks in the wood of the floor of this house. Probably maybe 4 inches wide. It looks like something dug in and scraped. It's almost like maybe not quite a gouge, but just a definitive scrape. And they're in patterns almost. It seems like every so many feet there's another gouge and then another, and there seems to be a couple of sets of these. But it seems
So
like
it
the whole
looks
house
intentional.
It appears to track movement. But
Okay.
the house is in disarray. Things are broken. As you
Wow.
step a little further and look, there is what would be cot. And you can see it's 4 wooden pillars. One of these pillars is broken off and on the floor. It's too dark to make out any color on it, but you can tell even in this darkness that part of this wood is darker than the rest.
Carrick, are you still alive in there?
The darkness has not claimed me yet.
Carrick starts just looking around, seeing the part that's darker. Is there any sign of, other than things being in disarray, specific signs of struggle, like blood or any scatter such as that?
As you stare at that wood, you begin to look for that struggle, and as you stare at that piece, there's a glint of light off of it.
And smell iron on it.
Mm-hmm. The piece that was
There
broken
it-
off specifically.
Pardon me?
I said specifically the piece that's broken off.
Mhm.
That's
There was a struggle in here. There is blood.
I'm going to see if I can follow a blood trail.
okay.
At
Investigation.
at this point, I'll head up to the doorway, but not inside because I cannot see in the darkness.
Mm-hmm.
An investigation, you said.
Yes.
22.
22.
I'm not proficient in investigation, but Lashana is.
Yep. And you look around, and you kind of feel like a bumbling idiot, like for a moment, as you're kind of like trying to look, but you're realizing this is very dark and you can't quite distinguish shades into pigment. It almost feels ever so gently as if there's a finger that runs across the base of your chin and points your head down as you see a few droplets before leading to the door.
The same door I came in. Did the droplets look like they were coming from the door to
Going
where I
out.
found this thing? Going out. All right, I'll follow the blood droplets and see if there's a trail outside.
As you hit outside, the blood droplets stop immediately, as if purposely. There is just a break. Something or somebody realized the trail was being left.
Do any of you want to come here and look? As far as I can tell, there is no one in here. And whoever tried to leave,
All right. And Granny will tromp up the stairs, just a little grumpily. Holding her back. Stairs. And Granny has 120 feet of dark vision. By being human.
Granny, you look in, you see all the disheveled mess. Go ahead and do me a favor. Either go ahead and roll a perception or investigation, whichever one you're better at.
I think that will actually be investigation.
Also, Lizzie, is by that, do you mean devil's sight? Because that's not just dark vision, that's full color.
It is, I believe, devil's sights from Warlock stuff.
Oh yeah. No, then you see the blood on what'd you roll?
I rolled a 14.
A 14? Well, I mean, you look in, and because of your situation, you clearly see the blood stain on the bed pillar. You see the disheveled mess. You see the blood droplets stopping at the doorway before being purposely stopped. And at the back corner of the room, because of, again, being able to see, there's a dolly. And as you look around, you clearly see that this looks like the house of a bachelor. But there is a dolly in the back corner.
All right, I'll walk over to it and pick it up. So, well, I'm gonna prod it with my staff first, and then before picking it up. It just looks like, is it like made of wood? Is it cloth? Like
it has this perfectly spherical little wooden head. The hair in the top is very lifelike. You can't quite, without picking it up and looking at it, it looks very good quality, surprisingly. The face on it is 2 X's for eyes, painted in a dark red. The mouth is a circle, also painted in a dark red. The dress itself is white lace. It's kind of like a sack doll. Like, it's just this little white sack pillow with this little wooden head. And the hair coming off of it is beautiful golden curls.
Does it look like, okay, at this point I'll pick it up. I want to smell the face, if it smells like blood to
Iron.
me. And I feel the texture of the hair. Does it feel like real hair?
Oh yeah. And the lace dress itself, as you pick it up, is squishy.
Squishy?
Yeah, it feels fluidy.
The dress or the sack body?
Like the sack body. Like, in there it feels tissuey.
I drop that when I feel that.
And
What?
a door out from the other corner of the room, a small ball rolls towards you.
I will get, once again, sort of like, I'll stop it with my staff. What do I, is it a wood ball?
It's a little wooden ball. It's like red with like a yellow stripe painted around it. Scuffed. Do you pick it up?
Do I pick it up? Does it feel solid with my staff? Does it
It feels like a solid wooden ball. Yeah, it's just this little, and I mean, a ball is probably a kind word for it. It's not exactly perfect.
Someone was making a ball, but you know.
Spherical object.
Let me just double check. Did I get detect magic? That would be smart, but I don't think I did. No, that didn't fit the theme. Yeah, I guess I'll pick it up. Why not?
Is that one of Carrick's toys?
Just a little wooden ball.
Is that one that he carved? You know, he looks.
I don't carve toys.
Is everybody
and then I guess just one other question. There weren't any. Was it for that creepy doll?
Mm-hmm.
There weren't any, like, I don't know, needles or anything sticking out of it or other seeming harm?
Nope.
Carrick is looking to the corner where the ball rolled out of.
Nothing.
Nothing, no movement, just bare wall.
Yep.
I want to go look at the doll and lift up the dress.
There is this burlap sack
I poke
under
it.
It feels like muscle tissue.
Feels like meat, I assume.
I will take one of my daggers and slice into it.
Okay, as you slice into it, there is clearly some sort of muscle tissue in there. Do you remove it?
Does the doll scream?
No.
I scream as I cut it. I'm like,
Are you quite all right?
there.
It's a heart.
Oh. Is it beating?
Nope. But it is drained. Smelly.
There appears to be some kind of a human organ inside of this doll.
Did someone just say human organ?
It looks like a heart.
Oh no.
It's not beating.
Is there enough blood here for someone to have had their heart ripped out?
As he looks
Fine,
around,
Stevie.
it's like, I don't think so. So, whatever this heart was taken from, it was either brought here or everything else was taken away.
But
Even
why
the
save
blood.
the heart? Why save it in this doll?
Let me actually, since you were slicing into it, do me a favor.
Mm-mm.
Roll a dexterity check.
Dex save?
Just a check.
Just to check, just to check.
Just to see how carefully you sliced into it.
I did not. I rolled a 7.
Okay. So as you're slicing it, there's a definitive line through the heart.
I may have cut it just a little bit. Sorry.
The day is growing later.
Well, this has been all tremendously disturbing, but I don't think there's much we can do here.
Jules, you're outside, right?
Yeah, I am.
You feel, you don't hear anything. You just feel this nagging, like at the back of your neck. Like just this nagging feeling. And it's like twinging, and then it leans to your right further down the road. And as you're twinging and looking down, you see that there are mud puddles further down the road. And there are drag marks through the mud puddles.
Oh, fantastic. I found something. I knock on the door.
The door
I think-
slams,
No.
Open or closed?
closed.
Like separating me from everyone else? Oh
Yes.
my god.
You hear, as you swear to God, you could see just hair moving in the wind quickly by the side of the house. Everybody inside, you see a tuft of black hair briskly dash by the window.
Am I still there at the door?
Yeah.
Okay. I knock hard. Like very hard. Come out now.
I go to the door and try to open it.
It opens.
Carrick dives out the window that he saw something attached, but you said there was no glass, so it's an open window, right?
Well, I mean, there's like, little crossbar, but
Yeah. You want an athletics check through it?
I mean, go for it.
See how those splinters in your leg.
Athletics check. 24.
24. Okay. So, roll through the window and stand up. You see that tuft of hair make it around the back side of the house.
I call out to them, something's moving this way. And I begin to follow it.
All right. You go around the back. You see the tuft going the other side of the house. At about this time, anybody still in the house would see the tuft of black hair going towards the front.
I pull out my dagger. Do I see anything like still at the door?
No. And even then, you see nothing come to the front of the building.
I'm outside with Jules.
Is there any weird vegetative growth that has sprung up?
In the house?
You know how the field is dying around it? Is there any weird sporadic vegetative growth growing in its place now that I would have like seen, noticed?
I will say if you go back outside and begin to specifically look, you peruse to the edge of the house. And there, planted in one of the back corners, is kind of a purple bell-like flower. But it seems to be covered in thorns. But it seems to be these thorns grow down and dig in to the ground around it.
Do I have any knowledge of this type of plant or flower?
Roll a nature check.
No fucking clue. Nat one. No fucking
Nope.
clue.
You have no idea. It's a little purple flower.
It's like the only thing that's like growing.
Yep.
If I'm peeling around the back, following the wisp of hair, do I follow all the way around to the front?
Yeah, you come
and
to the front and you stumble into Jules, who is like,
With my dagger out. Ah!
I hate to say this after our experience with the red-eyed chicken, but something is playing games with us.
What should we do?
Find it before it finds us.
I'm sensible. Just like, too old for this. Ugh.
Also, just so you know, there's a doll in there with a human heart in it. Don't touch it.
And that's
I've
what was
already
in it.
cooked
DM,
Jules,
would I know anything about magic that could be used from that kind of doll?
make an Arcana check. Jules, you too.
Oh no. Why would I know
Considering
this?
your origin.
No, I don't know anything.
Yeah, you didn't pay attention.
And it was 11 for me, so probably not.
This isn't something you've steered clear of this, Granny.
I've
You've tried to be away from this kind of stuff. People start talking about it, la 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 la, as you're walking away.
That's relevant knowledge to me. Time to leave.
Jules, you saw something out here
Right.
before you knocked on the door.
Mm-hmm. So before I was scared, I wasn't scared. I was just, before things happened, I mean to say, that right there. And I will point to the muddy tracks. You said they led away from the house?
Yeah, further down the road, the direction y'all were kind of heading before, but there are drag marks.
Yes.
Actually, there's a drag mark and then a definitive 4x4-ish hole. And then another one on the other side staggered.
So I found that and I just point to it. So
A drag mark and a hole.
are you gonna go down the hole, Carrick?
Like, it's like a 4x4, like 4-inch by 4-inch hole. Like,
Yeah, like a burrow kind of thing.
Oh,
It's-
are you gonna?
it's more square than that. It's not a burrow. And it's only, if you look at it, it's maybe only 6 inches to a foot deep on either one.
I don't think I'd fit.
Mm-mm. I couldn't see. I was from here. Like from here, it looks like a big hole, But now that we've talked about it and you went closer, now I know that it's a small hole and you would not be able to fit. No, I got that. Would the doll fit?
Would you fit?
Would I fit?
Nobody would fit.
Okay, thank God.
But as you,
We
if
don't
you,
talk-
if,
4
we're
inch by
talking
4
like
inch.
this big.
Put
But if
in
you
there.
walk up, if you continue to look further at this, you will actually see further drag marks down the road and similar scuffing, Carrick, as the scuffing in the house.
Perhaps whoever or whatever was taken from the house has been dragged this way. It's where the blood trail led. There is something still around the house, but I'm not going to ring around the rosy till I am dizzy, looking for something I cannot catch.
Ashes, ashes. You hear echoing over the hill.
In what
And
language?
there it is.
Do we recognize the language?
They're just saying it in common. Appears to be a childlike voice.
As I said, something is playing games with us. We can try and walk away. But last time I checked, when we were asked,
For those at home, in our session 0,
if we wanted to play a game, I said no. Their response was too bad. They're going to play this game whether we want them to or not.
So I guess we're following the drag marks.
That would be my thought. But you do not have to come with me if you do not want.
I'm fine. I'm fine.
You feel a small prod in your back from Granny's staff.
Right. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. I am hesitant, but I will go.
That's more like it. Fear in your heart is fire in your feet, kid. Don't remember that. It's what I said and I'm sticking to it.
Mm-hmm.
Granny will start walking along the drag marks. Double down on your mistakes, kid.
So you begin going. So you start walking this trail. They continue. The sky grows cloudy. And it begins to drizzle. Just lightly. Not heavily by any means, just kind of a spattering here and there as the sun is making its way into late afternoon. Not quite sunset. You continue to make your way. You find more of these drag marks, occasionally actually finding drops of blood. You continue. The sky grows more gray. And eventually, as the sun begins to make its way to be set, you do see a warm glow over one of these hills of a fire. And chanting, a childlike voice you hear, "It's raining, it's pouring. The old man was snoring. He went to bed and he bumped his head and couldn't get up in the morning." And then you hear thud and a very loud grunt. As you round a corner, you see before you some sort of pyre built. And with that pyre, you see in front of it a splayed out, middle-aged man laying clearly bloodied over the head. You see maybe 4'5", 4 foot tall young girl, blue dress, black hair, pale, bright yellow hazel eyes, staring down at him, holding kind of like a mallet of sorts. And you can see around him there are odds and ends, a couple of bowls, some bones, a book in her hand.
Is there a hole in his chest?
Nope. Just one in his head.
I push Carrick forward. Stop her.
Carrick doesn't move when you push him, unless you want to make an athletics check.
Right. No, so Jules does the thing and then just runs into you and goes, "Oh, stop her. Ow. Ah, so hard."
But you are just around the corner. She's not made eye contact with you yet. But you can see her pull a knife from her skirt as she begins to approach.
I know this is probably going to be a waste, but Carrick doesn't. I cast Pass Without a Trace on us.
Okay. Do it.
Everyone has a +10 to their stealth rolls, so I'm rolling stealth.
Sure, why not? I'll hide and then this is stupid. I'm gonna throw a boop 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 dagger not at her but at the bowl so that it'll shatter and hopefully she stops whatever she does, if that's okay.
If you're doing that, are you stealthing after or before?
Yeah, I
You
would
know what?
take stealth
I'll do
first.
it.
You know what? Let's do the let's roll with it. Let's
Yeah,
roll
go
with
for it.
Sure.
We're not a coordinated party. We haven't been traveling together. We don't know how this works.
Yep. So, Carrick, you go stealth. Jules, your reaction is to throw the dagger first.
Yeah.
Sophia and Kai, are you stealthing instinctively? What are we doing?
I think Granny puts on her most no nonsense face, sort of stands in the middle of the path, just staring down at this girl who's only a little shorter than she is, and says, "That man is not old, honey. I don't know what you're singing about, but I think you need to cut it out."
She's trying.
Gesture at her with my staff.
She's
Hey,
trying.
you
to.
knock the That's what I'm doing. As she smiles at you and
Brazen.
jabs the dagger into his chest.
Oh no.
I thought she was approaching us. Oh shit.
Nope.
No, she was walking towards the guy
Which
with the
he
dagger.
does not flinch or move. It would appear possibly that he's done.
Okay. Well, there's nothing.
But she jabs that in, and at about that time when she catches your attention, the two scarecrows on either side of the field hop forward.
Yep.
One of which has two bright blue button eyes and this tuft of straw sticking out the top of his head. The other one wearing a disheveled old cowboy hat with two stitched X's for eyes and no mouth. And then you hear her, "Jack be nimble, Jack be quick," as she continues about her business, and the scarecrows jump and leap at you. And that is where we're going to take a quick, I'm just kidding. I just wanted to mess with you. Not yet, but I will show you what you see. So I wanted to mess with you. But no, so you see these scarecrows come forward and actually begin to leap out at you. What are you doing?
I mean,
I'm hiding. I said I was gonna hide after.
yeah,
Okay,
I
so
rolled
you do
my
this,
32.
you hide, you're hiding.
Yeah.
Okay.
I rolled my 32 stealth, so if they can see me, great. But if they're moving aggressively, I will probably attack momentarily, but I'm waiting for that word of initiative.
Okay. So, it's in Discord, which you can see. Let's go ahead real quick because they're just gonna go Yeah, they're not quite going to be able to make it to you. But since they cannot, they are leaping forward out of, and that is, of course, their surprise round. The little girl seems completely distracted and is ignoring you all, so let's go ahead and roll for initiative. Yes.
Let's go.
No. Okay, fine. That dice is going away. Okay, Karak.
Thank you for a +7 initiative, 18.
Okay. And let's do Kai. What'd you get? 17? 17. Sophia.
16.
Nice. Look at you,
It's like
y'all.
perfect in order.
I know. Jules, don't let me down.
Oh, my bad. 23.
Oh, nice. Okay. Hey, look at that. All right. All right.
It wasn't in order.
It was. Let's see how they rolled. Okay.
Are this? I almost called them skeletons. Are the scarecrows near us, or are they by the fire?
They are closer to the fire at the moment. I
Okay.
did post the image in Discord for y'all.
Yes.
So you can see that. That is their current location. The yellow dot is where you guys currently are
Perfect.
like originating. So you come upon this field, and right now you're easily 20 to 30 feet away from the little girl, just jabbing away at this poor sleeping buddy.
She's still doing it?
Oh yeah, she just is ignoring you. As these scarecrows approach, she has no cares in the world. First and foremost, she's just playing a game right now. But with that, Jules, you are first in the initiative.
Cool. I don't think I can reach either one of them right now with an attack, so I will cast, if I can do this and if I read it right, entangled in their vicinity. So what it does is grasping weeds and vines sprout from the ground in a 20-foot square starting from a point within range. For the duration, these plants turn the ground in the area into difficult terrain. So they all have to succeed on a saving throw or be restrained by the entangling plants until the spell ends.
Okay. What kind of save?
Strength save, and I'm trying to figure out where's my. Do I get a DC as a rogue? Daniel Dragon, help me out here. Yeah, I don't see it on my spell.
So but this isn't from your rogue. This is from you being a halfling, right?
Halfling, yes.
So in your character sheet where you get that, it should tell you what your casting stat for is it, right? Is it a wisdom? Here, I can find it on your character sheet. Give me one moment.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
Jules, you do have a little extra luck.
Oh, cool. I'll need it.
But okay, Tales from the Red Hare Inn. I'll go and look at your character sheet, but it should be just in your racial traits.
Wisdom.
There you go. What do you know? I know what I'm talking about. So 8 plus 3 plus your wisdom modifier.
8 plus 3 is 11 plus 1, 12.
Okay. So
and I will write that down.
So you cast this, and these vines erupt from the ground around them. You see, as the little girl's knife is in the chest, you see her raise her hand, and they just avoid her as she stands plain as day and dodges them easily. The scarecrows leap straight up and come back down. their pole, oddly square and now making sense in all of your minds, coming back down.
Cool. I would like to move and then hide.
Okay. And I mean, there are rows like around you. There are rows of crops and tall plants, and I mean, there is also a fence line. I mean, it's not like the nicest of fences, but there's a fence line. You could try to.
And temporarily, you do still have a +10 to your stealth.
Yeah.
Yes. So I will move 30 feet forward. I'll get closer to him, and running like I'm about to attack, and I'd be like, ah, peace. And as I hide behind a rock.
Okay, roll for it. Roll the thing.
Okay. 26.
Okay. So with that. Okay. Darn your movement making things difficult to range on me. So with that, all of you, whether you're up in it or not, you see Jules attempt to do something. You see these vines erupt from around the scarecrow and the little girl waving it off seemingly, and then just disappear into the farm fields around them. These scarecrows look around baffled only briefly and then just lock eyes on Granny. And full movement forward, which in the 20-foot difficult terrain is not far. And then they're going to action dash. And they begin to, they're not quite within range, but it is very, very clear. They are about 10 feet away from you, Granny, as they are clearly making their way to you. And as they get closer, you can smell a very strong scent of iron. And that, real quick, is where we are going to actually take our quick 5-minute break before we get too far into combat and we can't get one, because I know me. So hang out with us for about 5 minutes. We're going to take a quick break and we'll be back and see how
First
everybody
combat
reacts. Yes, let's do this. Let's get it going. You're not going to die. Just be maimed. It'll be fine. So
Taryn just wants to corrupt our souls and damage our minds forever, not murder us. Where would be the fun in that?
Yeah, but we will be back shortly. Welcome back to Dust to Dust. So, stumbled your way down a path and a road. Creepy cottage. Clearly struggle. Signs of brutality. Something giggling and trying to play a game with you. Following this trail led you to a bonfire with a little girl, blue dress, black hair, bludgeoning a middle-aged man, proceeding to do so and stab said man as you approach, Granny trying to scold the young lady. At least a couple of you trying to stealth, one of you throwing a knife, then trying to entangle before eating and stealthing. So, the last turn was the scarecrows using all of their movement to rush at Granny, as you are the one that tried to scold the little girl, and you're also the only one that they can see because they're not real perceptive. So next up is Carrick. They are about, so they have moved probably total like 30, but not even that. They're probably right outside of the fence line, about 10 feet away from Granny.
Gotcha. 10 feet away from Granny, and I'm probably a little 15, 20 feet from Granny, just off to the side because I was stealthing, right?
Yes.
Okay. So they're maybe 35 feet, 40 feet away from me at most?
Not at most.
Okay. The one who is closest, don't know whether that's the blue-eyed one or the XI one, will
They're
immediately
coming in tandem. They're like
Okay.
maybe 10 feet apart.
First
like,
shot off the bow, doesn't even pull an arrow, just pulls the bow, which I get to describe for the first time.
Yes.
Recurve bow, almost like a Mongolian archer's bow, but the recurve aspects are made with dragon bone, specifically amethyst dragon bone. And he pulls back the string with no arrow, and a crystalline amethyst energy arrow just sort of apparates and lets go, and we'll see what happens. I'm hidden from them, yes, with the 32 stealth.
Yep.
So this is at advantage. Okay. First one is a 22 to hit.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Pass without a trace goes away.
Yep.
Favored foe on this one. Let's see what happens. So that's going to be a D8 plus a D4 plus
Your
a
favorite
D6.
foe is a scarecrow? How did you know?
Favored foe, not favored enemy. Tasha's ability.
Oh, okay. I was like,
She's like you.
I know it was spooky, but
Okay.
Come on.
So that is going to be 2 points of force damage plus 8 plus 4, 12 points of regular or magical piercing damage. So a total of 14 on the first hit.
So you hit Jack Be Nimble with 14 points of damage.
And second attack, still at advantage.
Same one?
If it's still up.
Yep.
Excellent. That is going to be a 24 to hit.
Yeah.
Okay, so this one, I don't get to add the D4 because favorite foe is only once a turn, but that is going to be another pitiful 2 points of force damage.
Mm-hmm.
But that's nice. Almost max damage on the piercing, so 11 points of piercing damage, so 13.
Okay.
Still
So
up.
It is. Be Nimble
Great.
is holding on.
Gloomstalker, Dread Ambusher, I get my third attack.
Mm-hmm.
And this one does an extra D8 damage. Okay, that is 5 points of force damage, 6, and 10 points of magical piercing damage.
So, as you come out of stealthing, please describe to me this series of events as how you just basically one shot.
So
Jack Be
Carrick
Nimble.
bounds up, and you see this large 6'5", broad-shouldered, muscular dragonborn not wearing armor, who's surprisingly lithe for his size and moves more like an elf than a dragonborn, and leaping through the air. 1, 2, 3 shots all into it, and then he slides in front of Granny and pulls out a scimitar, looking at the other scarecrow.
Awesome. Calypso. It is now your turn.
How far away are they from me?
At this point, maybe because of where were you close to Granny, or did you like stealth and poof?
I was wherever Carrick was. I was pretty close to Carrick.
So then you're like 20 feet, maybe now.
Okay. I will I'll put my hand up to my mouth and I will start spitting salt water into my mouth. But it's not salt water. You can see it kind of bubbles and fizzes, and I will hurtle an acid ball at them. They need to make a dexterity saving throw, please.
Okay. Don't fail me, you suck. Oh wait, no, that's actually not bad. Okay, that's a 17.
Yeah, it's Jack, be quick. It's fine. Let's see. Okay,
Yep.
that's fine. Dang. There's no. So yeah. So my throw goes wide. I am not a softball player, clearly.
So you throw this, and he like
Acidic.
falls sideways, stands back up, just instantly.
I back up 30 feet.
Okay. That's fine. Okay. Sophia.
All right, so I now have a strapping young lad in front of me. All right, so I am going to step out from behind him since he's blocking my view. Step to the side, and then so there's one more scarecrow about 10 feet away.
Yes.
All right. In that case, since we're so close, I think I will just reach out my hands, snap my fingers, and thunder erupts at the center point around that scarecrow as I cast Thunderclap on it. So it has a Constitution save.
Which is something that scarecrows are notoriously good at.
Yeah, I know. It was a risky move, but
That is still a 17.
it does save.
Umbral Oculus dice serve me well.
Granny frowns at this failure. Pauses for a moment, and then she's just gonna step behind Karak.
Okay.
Yeah.
It is now the little girl's turn.
Yep.
So she is going to turn and immediately look at Carrick. That was really
Fair.
rude of you. He's one of my only friends. And she starts to cry, but as she does this, she casts Vicious Mockery.
Oh.
So that's a wisdom saving throw.
That is a natural 15 on my Umbral Oculus dice, and you said charisma, correct?
That's
Yep, so 17 total.
You shrug off. The poor little girl's crying. And that's
Sorry, I was playing in a Tarot Hackett game. I brought a monster.
valid. And then bonus action as she continues her job. Because she like does that, stops crying and just goes back, like stone face, and then goes back. And now it is Jules' turn.
Okay.
As the scarecrows were approaching, you are probably like 10 feet away from it now. As they were coming, you might have hidden, but they are not far from you. Like you saw them leap as they don't run, they like leap 10 feet at a time. They are bounding.
Oh, cool. I will go after the one that Carrick didn't mess up.
That is Jack Be Quick.
Jack Be Quick. Okay, yeah. So I will move 10 feet towards him and start just, I see what the girl did. And I'm like, seems to be the gist of the night. And I will attack with my Diaga of Venom. Come on, Umbral Oculus die. I don't think that's gonna work. That's an 11.
I mean, this is a question.
That
Darren,
hits.
is there flanking? Or no?
There is flank, but that does hit.
That still hits? Oh, thank you, Jesus.
They're not hard to hit.
Because if there's
Cool.
flanking and I'm right in their face, you could try and get advantage.
But
and I will pump some venom into this, so I think they have to make a Constitution saving throw.
Again, their forte.
Yes, 15.
That is a 1.
Oh, Taryn.
Beautiful. So 2 + 5 is 7 plus my I was hidden, so I get sneak attack, right?
Yep.
Okay. 7 plus 6 plus 7 is what is that? 6 plus 7?
6 plus 7, 13.
13. 13 plus 5 is 18. Then I will dump 2d10 into that for the poison.
Yeah.
Daniel, do you remember what I just said? For the
13
Okay, 13
plus 5, 18.
Oh, 18.
18 total.
Yeah.
Okay, so 18 and then 8 plus 9 is 17, so 17 plus 18. And then I will use my Whispers of the Grave to then feel what I always feel whenever I hear the whispers, that pain, and shoot it to Jack B. Nimble.
Well, Jack B. Nimble is dead.
No.
Oh,
dead.
okay. Then never mind. Then it's all, that's it. Whatever I just said is that's it.
Okay.
So you
So
don't
you-
use your Whispers of the Grave.
Yeah, I don't use my Whispers
Smart.
of the Grave.
So you jabby, jabby,
Oh,
jabby, jab.
yeah, no, I can't. No, wait. Is the girl 30 feet within me?
Oh no, she's like
Okay,
40
okay.
or so feet away.
okay,
from
then
you.
never mind. Yeah, so
She's
it's
way
just that.
back.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, so jabby, jabby, jabby. And like his hay is like falling out everywhere. And he looks at you
Hello.
as you see the little cross, like his little X's bleed down his
No.
face.
Mm-mm. He's still up.
Yep,
Oh, that's
And-
unfortunate.
it is his turn.
Oh, can I move?
You can.
I will take the opportunity attack and I will move.
How far are you moving
Have
away?
you used your bonus action?
I was gonna use that to hide, so I won't
30
disengage.
feet hide.
Yeah, 30
Bonus
feet
action?
hide.
30 feet hide or disengage?
30 feet hide.
30 feet hide. Okay. So as you go to Ranere, then we are going to does a 16 hit you?
Yes. Oh, actually, I will use my bonus, or not my bonus action, my reaction for sudden cacophony, which will add my proficiency bonus to my AC to bring that up. And what I hear is Jack hears, my pain is your pain. Bye. And
Yeah.
I'll leave.
So you dodge it out of the way, run away, and make your hired attempt. Just don't want to see. They're not the most perceptive babies, but
God, I love Jules. Okay, yeah, I'm done now.
so it is now their turn. And they are right in front of you, correct? Carrick?
Yep.
So Jack Be Quick will bolt into the air 20 feet and come back down on top of you, Carrick.
Yep.
So I need you to make a strength saving for me.
Okay. Strength saving throw.
I mean, you probably got this, but
24. Natural
Yeah, you got it.
17.
okay. So you managed to avoid that part. Let me see if I hit you now.
Thank
So
you,
this-
Umbral Oculus.
Thank you, Umbral Oculus, for the natural 20 that I just scored on my own players. So beautiful, beautiful times. It's not a lot of damage, but we did a thing. Okay. 7.
See, it's
not a
working for you and working for me. I love these
It
dice.
is. So that is
And they're pretty.
13 points of bludgeoning damage as Jack's post comes and jabs you in the shoulder, and where it was obviously an attempt to try to stick you to the ground,
Yep.
it manages to land just beside you. But with that, it is
So 13 points of damage?
Yes, but it is
Okay.
your turn.
All right. Well, he's right in my face. Okay. Let's make an attack on him.
I mean, he don't look good. He's dropping stuffing and crying blood.
Okay, that is going to be. This is with my silver curved elven scimitar, which I'm going to have a 24 to hit.
Yeah. It's a scarecrow.
Yep.
They have no armor.
That is a total of roll the 1 on the dice, 6 points of damage.
Would you like to explain how you got this poor
Oh no, I didn't want to do
scarecrow?
this in the first combat. Carrick takes the glance, sees it coming down and just darts out of the way, glances off the shoulder and rolls, and then just blind sweeps back with the scimitar in his left hand and takes the head off.
So Jack's head rolls, and as it rolls up to look at you, Granny, and Carrick, a mouth appears on its face, and it's a frowny face. As its little eyes go upturn. And you do hear a release of breath.
That's unnatural.
And with that, I guess it is now, Kai, it is your turn. As the little girl is still sitting there with, just dagger deep in poor old Farmer John.
How far away is she?
She's like, if you went 30 feet away, she's like 70 feet away from you. She's over by the fire. Depends on which direction you move, but she's anywhere from 50 to 70 feet from you.
I am going to take a dagger out and I'm going to cut open the torso of the scarecrow. And if there is a heart in it, I'm going to stab it.
As you cut it open, there is a heart that
Stabbing
is beating.
Frick out of it.
Stabbing. Okay.
Well, and I'm like looking at her while I'm doing it from across the 70 feet.
Okay.
When the party brings their own eldritch horror.
No kidding. So Bella stands up while you're doing this because she does, I will just say as a passing, she has stopped stabbing Farmer John. But it is Sophia.
You stab people? I do too.
Do you want to do anything else on your turn as you are
No,
now?
that I will just warn her if she continues her stabbing, so will I. And that's it.
Granny Sophia.
Okay. So I'm about 30 feet away from her right now.
Yeah, 30 to, yeah, it's in that window of like 30 to 40 feet-ish. It's negligible. Yeah. I mean, she has not made, apart from trying to make Carrick feel bad, she has not tried to do anything yet.
All
but
right.
We are still in initiative.
Okay. I'm just gonna march up to her is that still difficult terrain?
I actually, that's a good question for the dragon. Does that last to that whole time?
It's concentration spell. It's whether Jules has it up.
I mean, you haven't taken
damage.
You can drop it at any point.
Oh, I drop it.
Okay.
I mean, it's up to
At some point, you know what it was when the scarecrow tried to attack her or tried to attack them. Like suddenly, like there was this moment where this fearful look on their face happened, and you just saw all the vines go.
That's exactly what happened.
Okay, so I'm gonna march across her. So she stopped stabbing.
Yes.
Calypso
okay.
hasn't.
We'll deal with you later.
Get her, Granny.
Okay. Gonna take my staff, not like hit her with it, just sort of like what I was doing to Jules earlier. Just sort of like prod her with it. What are you doing? What is wrong with you? That'll be my turn.
Well, on her turn, as she begins to bawl. I just wanted to play a game. And she turns invisible
Oh,
and kicks you in the shin and runs.
Ow! That's not nice.
Or, I mean, you assume it's running because you hear the pitter patter of feet.
Kids.
Out from the field in the opposite direction,
Mm-mm.
you hear strange animal noises. Everybody make a nature check for me.
Nature. What is nature?
You would think I would have gotten the best roll.
Yes.
Nay.
11.
Yeah. Jules?
14.
10.
Oh, come on.
Guy?
I got a 7. This is a land animal. I don't know what the heck it is.
Valid. Granny. Actually, we'll start with, so everybody else, you just hear this strange kind of, it sounds like birds. Just birds. Granny, you hear these sounds. They sound fake. You pick up on this. These are not natural birdie sounds. It sounds as though somebody is mimicking a sound of a bird in an attempt to distract.
I'm gonna call out. Who's out there? Stop pretending to be birds and show yourself.
There is no
tell 'em.
answer. But I will say, as much as Granny, you've been around and you're familiar enough, the direction you heard the feet go, you do know there is like, y'all aren't far off from a hamlet. So you have a general idea of the direction she went? There are fishy things in the fields. But as of right now, we're no longer in initiative.
I suppose we should catch that child before she hurts more people, and something's not right. I think the only thing I can think is that she's possessed by something.
Oh, she's
What about
definitely
the
gone.
man?
That man is not getting up again.
Oh no, he did.
There's that scarecrow.
Also, Calypso. Was the stabbing the heart really so many times really necessary?
Absolutely. You never know with these things. It might have gotten back up. And we wouldn't want that.
Fair enough.
And I look over at the other scarecrow that's laying on the ground, and I take my dagger out and I start like walking toward it to do the same.
You do the same thing to the other one?
Yes.
Is the heart beating when she cuts it open?
Yep.
Oh my lord.
Do you
This
stab
one
it?
isn't dead.
Do you
Can I
stab?
take out the heart?
Yeah.
Does anybody have a jar of dirt? I love Pirates of the Caribbean, sorry. And she's
Yeah, I'm right there with you, April.
No, I got you. Yeah.
Don't
I can't say I carry around jars of dirt with me, no.
Oh. You
That's
know what?
not right.
No. Mm-mm. I do not, but let's check the pyre she had. She had all sorts of knickknacks over there. Maybe she had a jar.
Okay.
And I will check that.
I will say roll, just two of you roll investigation checks.
Earl, Oh, yeah.
13.
Synthetic 20.
Ooh.
Ooh.
With a 13, you find some bowls. There's some bones in them. Yeah, you begin to piece together. There are odds and ends. Pretty sure one of these is the remnants of a pet. It's long since passed. Granny, you continue to look, and as you're looking with that synthetic 20, you realize that this isn't a perfect circle around Farmer John. You see points on this circle where things are strategically placed. You see now, as you look at Farmer John, markings made in him prior to being bludgeoned with the dagger.
Why wouldn't he have? Surely he could have fought off that girl.
Keep
I like-
calling
See,
her that.
you can see there are like restraint marks on this guy. It looks gnarly, but yes, there is a jar. Of course, currently in it, there's a hand.
Is Farmer John's hands both attached right now?
One of them is gone.
Is it the same hand that's in the jar?
No.
There it is.
Oh, this will do nicely. Thank you.
I'm
I'm gonna take it from Granny.
No,
I
you're
dump out
not.
the hand. I will fight Granny for this jar.
Oh no.
Please,
not
both of you roll
Granny.
contesting athletics checks, please.
I don't.
This is what we were here for, right? We thought it was spooky vibes. No,
Old lady
wrestling over a
stealing
jar.
things from old ladies.
And I have advantage on such things.
I'm not gonna win this.
Stealing
chat.
things from old ladies?
Athletics checks.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no, you win.
What'd you get?
I got a 10 total. 11 minus 1.
Oh no.
Kai?
Uh,
I take the jar.
Yeah.
Thank you. I
You
dump out the
keep
hand.
calling her the girl. What makes you think that is a little girl?
Well, I suppose it could be not, but everything she said has been the trappings of a child. The nursery rhymes, the doll. I suppose it could be some otherworldly being obsessed with children's things, but
Even if it is a young girl, a child, it is not only a child. Look at these creatures that were bound to her somehow.
I agree. Something else is interfering. It's not normal.
TM. Footprints from the little girl
They are child-sized.
and look like normal footprints. There's some trace of them after she disappeared.
There are, I mean, it's slightly muddy. We'll say she
Yeah.
stepped in a blood puddle.
yeah.
And there's, at the tips of the toes, it is almost as though there's like a claw or a very long nail. But only on one foot.
That looks fucking disgusting to me. I don't know.
Like
what that
that of a
means.
chicken's foot.
No, not a chicken foot. It's like somebody didn't trim their nails for years.
Ugh. And this is on Farmer Joe, right?
This just
It
like
was on
in
the-
it's the just the footprint from the little girl.
Oh,
Oh,
it's
my
from the girl. That's
Yeah.
disgusting. You're right. That's not just a little girl. With feet like that.
Okay.
What?
So, you see these things. You have your heart jar. There are various bones, etc. Random scribblings that just seem like childlike drawings, actually. But the day is going to end. The sun is going down quickly, and you still hear those odd bird sounds.
Can any of you make hide nor hair of this? I confess I relied on others whenever I encountered rituals like this.
Can I make another Arcana check on this type of ritual?
Yes.
We'll see. This is consistent with past things. Oh, that's a 19 plus 4, so a 23.
23. So, as she was directly going for the heart, I will say simply based on what you've seen.
Yeah.
And your understanding that there are darker magics in the world, while you usually avoid that, you have this very strong suspicion that she was harvesting this heart to bind it to something else. You have this sneaking suspicion that this might be behind her crafting of her buddies, Jack Be Nimble and Jack Be Quick. You don't have solid evidence of it because this is very unfamiliar to you, but you really get the feeling that that's what was going on here.
Does it seem like there's materials to make another Jack Be Nimble or Jack Be Quick around?
I mean, there's hay everywhere.
True.
And from a distance, in the direction you thought you saw the little girl book it to, this game isn't fun anymore. You broke my toys.
We're trying to make
guess-
Jack jump over the candlestick.
That one we can do. We'll just play with you instead. And then the voice stops.
Does she mean with you as in the plural, you as us, or did she mean you as in, and I point to Granny?
It's definitely open to interpretation. I certainly interpret it as me, but now that you've mentioned it, it could be all of us, so...
You all thought that when the chicken asked me if I wanted to play a game, it was just me. I think we are her new playmates.
Do we follow?
I suppose we ought to. There's a hamlet in that direction. Who knows what other mischief? To put it lightly, she could wreak if we don't interfere.
Okay. All right. Let's go.
So you begin to walk. Do you take anything with you apart from the heart jar?
Absolutely not.
I'm taking the heart jar.
Okay.
It's my bargaining chip, if
Okay.
need be, and I'm like poking at it.
Okay. Okay.
Derek's not going to worry about that. He's going to place his hand on his shoulder, his other hand on his scimitar,
Yeah.
and you just see, as he mutters a word, a feminine, ghostly, elven hand apparate on his as he casts Cure Wounds on himself.
It's a neat trick.
Creepy trick.
The touch of one lost.
Even more creepy.
That's hardly an explanation.
Jules, in the back of your, right behind you, you're one to talk.
Okay. No one asked you. All right.
No one
You
has
never
to
did. Go on, tell her. You don't appreciate nobody? Nothing. You just, it kind of like drones off, like
Mhm.
walking away from.
Yep. Yes, Granny. You say something?
I was asking what you were saying. Seemed like you were having a conversation with somebody who wasn't there.
I want to answer you, Granny, but I also don't want to get poked. So shall we go?
Keep no secrets then.
Begin to make your way.
Mm-hmm.
It's not awfully long. It's maybe 30 minutes of walking before winding down through some more hills where you begin to see a bit of a clearing. But as you continue into the hamlet further, you start to see houses further out on the hills, little settlements. You begin to notice a lot of the houses look disheveled. The wood doesn't look okay. These are nowhere near the disrepair of the previous. But this is not a rotting fashion as the cottage was. This looks to be a disparity. This looks like a struggle. This is unusual for this region. These are houses of people in severe poverty, unable to maintain their property. As you begin to actually step foot into the hamlet, which is a small, humble sort of village. There is clearly a somewhat of a makeshift chapel of sorts. There is clearly some sort of city hall. There are clearly stands for food and goods. You can see rows of buildings and houses kind of together. There is a fountain at center. And of course, just at edge, just as you begin to reach in, you do see, as an inn is not necessarily a common thing in a hamlet, you do happen to note a very worn and beaten bed and breakfast sign. And from what you can read, it says Daisy Bell Bed and Breakfast. Things are crashed, like kind of scratched, and it hasn't been painted in a good while, it would seem. The fountain seems to be running dry. These people seem to be struggling. And as you enter in, shutters closing quickly. It's as though as the sun sets, shutters. Quickly, the few people you see in the streets are going inside. You, however, do look up at this bed and breakfast, or bed and breakfast, and you do
Where
see
there is also bread.
there is bread and breakfast. But you see the silhouette of a hunched over human woman. You can see that they're tending to something in the door frame. And it's, 20, 30 feet from you. Now, all of you please roll me a perception check, because I need to know who witnesses something.
I'll take that. Yes, sir.
Oh, Carrick. Okay, Jules.
19.
Sophia.
8.
Oh. Carrick.
Yeah, no, sorry. It's the lowest roll on the dice today, a natural 2 for a total of 11.
Okay, and Kai.
19.
Okay. Half the party did it. Now, Kai and Jules, as you are all kind of taking in just the absolute disheveled nature of this hamlet, and the streets are muddy, you notice like potted plants are just dead. You notice the grass growing around is very wilted and dried. And everybody sees that. However, Kai and Jules, your eyes lock in a moment. And you peer back towards the fountain. And just in that brief moment, you see a very translucent, just slightly shimmering figure. As you stare, you realize it is a feminine, ghostly figure, seemingly crying at this fountain. But as you blink and look back at the party, they're gone.
You caught that, right?
I did. There was someone there. They are not there anymore.
No. Okay. This is fine. This is what we walked into. This is what we knew was going to happen.
What are you two going on about? Look, there's a bed and breakfast. Let's get inside and find, maybe she can tell us about this town. It's probably some leads. She asks you a question and then does not wait for you to answer it. and just goes straight towards.
Okay. All right. I keep my eyes on. Well, ghosts wouldn't appear at the same spot. I will just keep my eyes around.
Does the ghost look like the lady at the table?
No.
Okay.
DM, can I say that I picked up the dagger that I threw back at the
Yes,
pyre? Okay,
yeah.
thank you.
I kind of assume most of the time that if possible, that most of the time people are going like,
Unless we throw it off a cliff, we're probably okay.
Yeah.
exactly.
Thank you.
So you approach the bed and breakfast. This hunched over humanoid halfling woman, fairly tall for a halfling, but halfling nonetheless. As you get closer and you realize now the silhouette was them standing on a step stool to fill the space. You see with a rock in one hand and just what looks to be possibly a wire, banging it into the door frame and stepping down. All right, I ought to do it. Yeah. Oh, hi. What? Well, you're a weird looking lot.
We're all travelers. We all sort of met on the road. Just looking for a place to stay tonight. Saw some weird things on the way here, though.
Well, yeah, you better get in. You should actually. What time? Oh, yep, come. And starts to like just kind of rush you in as she rushes over and is closing her shutters. Yeah, it's probably not such a good idea for you to be out that late. Here. Weird things be happening.
You don't
Curse
say.
and all. Yeah.
Curse?
Oh, hi. Yeah. Oh,
Was
you aren't
strangers.
from a.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry. Oh, well, I hope you make it out, but you can stay here for the night, and if you have good luck, you'll get the hell out by, tomorrow. And she's just like locking the door numerous times.
Has it gotten worse lately, this curse? Seemed like you were adding a new lock to your door. Deadbolt, perhaps?
Oh, yeah, as you can say, over the last, 3 months, it's pretty much... I've got a hole in my roof.
You seen a little girl anywhere?
Oh, several? It's
No,
a
I mean
village.
a sweet little girl who likes to play with dolls.
She's
That's
Little girls
move.
like to play with dolls.
No. Dolls that move.
Is she ill?
No, she has just witnessed
I actually am, but no.
some of the curse. What do you know of this curse that is beset your hamlet?
Well, it has nothing to do with a little girl. Not a little girl. It has a lot to do with a woman. She was a witch.
I look at Kai.
You look at it, yep.
You haven't heard? Really?
We have
coming
not.
Up this... Most people steer clear of Deer
Huh.
Hill.
That's probably why we're here then, isn't it? Because we hadn't heard.
D-Ark Hill?
No, deer? You know,
Deer.
like a doe.
Oh,
A deer. A
mhm.
female.
Thank you.
A hill? You know, like April.
Keep going. Keep going. Keep going.
April. What?
No, it
I'm
had
not
everything to do with a woman. She was a witch, and she began kidnapping men.
Don't they always?
And so the town found out, and, well,
Did they drown her in the well?
no, they burned her
Okay.
at the center of town
Yeah.
by the...
And when was this?
Just over a year ago. But you see, what had happened first was her daughter got very, very sick. And everyone suspected because she started looking better. And then her husband got really sick and then he disappeared. And nobody saw her daughter again. And she kept raving about crazy things. And men started going missing. There were even rumors that she was having an affair.
Seems like an affair would be low on the list of crimes here, really.
Well, it was all suspected that she did it just so she could get away with her murders because it was the man. You can tell immediately as she begins telling you, she already has her tea in hand and is clearly a gossip.
Yes.
Like
What her daughter?
instantly.
What did her daughter look like?
Her daughter?
You said her daughter was ill.
But got better.
I believe she had like dark brown hair, maybe black. But she was buried out by their country home. At least that's what we assume, because they burned it all. Needless to say, now we're haunted because we killed her witch, and so we're cursed, and now...
And men are still disappearing?
Lots of people. Actually, just earlier today, a woman down the street, her name is Becky. She had a heart attack. Just walking down the street.
So we're applying that to the curse as well.
It was just random. She's a young, beautiful blonde thing.
Well,
Not anymore, but she was.
How did the town discover and confirm that this woman was in fact behind the disappearances of all these men, other
Well,
than
it
the
all-
rumor?
It all added up.
Well, you never
She
found that.
cloistered away, and she had all of these herbs hidden in her house.
spices.
Yeah.
But they didn't stop after she was gone.
No, they... No. It got worse, which is why we were confirmed that she cursed us at her death.
Or you killed the wrong person?
There could be more. Maybe we should be more investigative.
I just do like this to the party, just so that we like walk away from her. Huddle up, huddle up.
If you'll excuse us. Thank you
Oh,
so
of
much for
course.
your hospitality. I don't know what we would have done without you.
Help yourself to some tea. I'll go get your beds ready. I just have a bunk room, but it's a lot better than sleeping out with the ghosties. And she just goes her way up the stairs.
So we're obviously not going to help them, right? This
Or
seems
treat
like
them.
just desserts.
I'm also not keen on drinking any tea. From her, at least.
I
They
like
seem
that.
harmless. I mean, just in the harmful, perhaps, in the suspicious, petty, gossiping neighbor sort of way, but
Naive and stupid?
The whole town, apparently. So, listen, we just wait till morning and we head out. This seems like they deserve whatever is happening here.
And what makes you think our playmate won't follow us?
You bring up a point.
And just because the town, patriarchy most likely, killed this witch, doesn't mean the entire town was involved in her demise.
Should we ask for names and not say those people? I'm sure. What was the inn called?
So this is the Daisy Bell Bed and Breakfast.
I'm sure Daisy up there has all the names that were, in fact, involved. So, just get the names.
She has all of the receipts.
Like,
And
Don't-
repeat the mistakes of others, based on conjecture and rumor.
I didn't say repeat nothing. We won't be doing anything, as the town should have not done anything.
And what about the little girl? It's probably her daughter, right? That's what we're all thinking.
Should we go dig her up?
Hmm.
They just assume she was buried. They don't have a grave in mind, is what I gathered.
Exactly. So maybe we confirm.
I feel like we're
If there's-
skipping some steps if we're digging up little girls. I feel like we should do something first before we're doing that.
I agree it makes sense that if there is any truth to the curse as they have said it, we should find out if it has any connection to the girl, creature, being, whatever it is that has brought us here. Perhaps the remains of the house where a little girl was supposedly buried could start. We could also talk to other people. Although, Granny, you might do better at that than I. My presence is not always engender trust.
Well, they clearly don't like women with magic out here.
I'm fucked.
A lot of people look very
Where?
funny in that. She pops up right behind
Yeah.
Jules.
Damn it.
23 for stealth. She was nosing in.
Yep. It's shocking.
However, if it's not bad magic, like,
Mhm.
you know, stealing people from their houses, it's
Mhm.
not so much a bad thing.
Okay.
So don't steal anyone's husbands and don't steal anyone's out of their homes, and we're
And
probably
Danny
okay.
sleep with the mayor. It's probably just gross, really.
What was her name? What was the family's names, if you don't mind me asking?
As I look at my notes.
Yeah, you look at those notes.
Well, the family itself was named Dartu. The woman was Arlena. Her
Do you
husband,
remember
I
the dog?
believe.
Sorry, you were going on.
I think the husband's name was like Visjak. It was a strange. It was very foreign. You're gonna hate these people.
Yes,
And-
that she named the scarecrows after her father.
And then I believe the doctor, she really kept to herself. We didn't see her much, but when she fell ill, we all heard because the woman Arlena was coming in for herbs. And of course, we have an apothecary, and you know, people talk.
Hold on. So one of the evidences against her were herbs, and yet she was seen going into town to buy herbs for the sick daughter.
The herbs she had come from
Mhm.
dark places and not
Mhm.
from our apothecary.
Name a dark place.
They were
right now.
ritualistic.
Name a dark place right now. Right now, go.
Off of the coast, there's an island where crazy things happen.
And their natural herb is
Tiragla?
They have scary things there. At least that's what I'm told. I've not left this village in 50 years.
Oh, it
I give a
shows.
knowing look to Kai.
And you guys do have scary
So
things where you come from.
the mother's name was Arlena. That's what we're saying. The woman.
And the doctor was Delphi.
Delphi.
Okay. All right.
What? You're welcome to go upstairs. I've got your beds made. Take some tea with you if you want. It'll settle your stomach. It seems like you're all a bit kerfuzzled.
It was a long day's travel. Your hospitality is so welcome.
I'm
Truly
probably
great.
the nicest person here, short of the apothecary and maybe the baker's wife. Everyone
Thank
else
you
does
for your
make
hospitality.
meat
And Carrick starts walking.
Does the baker's wife make meat pies?
No. They have any meat. Because their pigs have all died. All of our crops have started dying now too.
Shame.
There's a big... What are not doing so well.
Carrick halfway up the stairs says, "Perhaps we can help with that. I make no promises."
You are good people. Then go on. Don't worry about the cost tonight. We'll talk it over. As she like rushes you up. So you all hunker down for the night's rest.
Yep.
Carrick.
Yes.
Oh.
In the night, you are awoken with a dream. There is a beautiful elven figure standing in the window of your room. And looking down at the center of town. She looks back at you. You can just see this forlorn, sad look on her face as she looks back down at the center of town.
Carrick,
Points.
eyes not leaving her in whatever dream he is, moves towards her and tries to take her hand.
She grips his hand and puts it on the window and looks down at the center of town where the fountain is.
Takes him a moment as he can't bear to look away from her before he pulls his gaze and looks out the window.
You now see the spectral woman crying at the center of town, sitting beside the fountain. This figure looks up in your direction and points further into town towards the chapel, city hall, and the depth of the hamlet, before looking back down and just falling back into her hands. You feel the grip on your hand tighten as your gaze returns. And you can just tell based on the expression. There's just sympathy.
You want me to help them, don't you?
She puts her hand on your heart and just smiles as you wake up briefly in your bed.
Eric looks to the window where he saw Lashana. Walks over, places his hand on the glass where she had placed it, and looks both at the fountain and then towards the center of town, the chapel, the city hall. And his normally rather unreadable, sort of firm expression softens, and then tears start to stream as he then sits down in the corner and takes out his carving and lays out several other carvings beside. And if anyone were to see, every single one of these carvings is of the elven woman he sees in his dreams, of his dead wife. Eventually, he goes back to sleep.
And as you rest your head on the pillow, trying to get whatever remnants of sleep you can, that is where we're going to end tonight's session. So, thank you guys so much for playing with me and for tuning in and all the things. So, welcome to the Red Hare Inn. If you didn't catch that at any point during the stream, we do nerd things. Join our Discord. Come hang out. We do in-chat RP. It's a lot of fun. We've got some really great, happy, accepting people in our community. Come join us and have some fun. So let's go round table with all my players. So where can we find you? What you doing? Be cool and stuff. Let's start with Shelby.
Again, yes, I am Shelby, aka Wish Warlock, on all social medias. I am actually one half of Whiskey Reacts, where me and my best friend, partner in crime, really just my grounding rock, Haley, we in podcast form take a look at our favorite forms of entertainment while we drink whiskey. So you can catch me on that. You can also catch me on the Initiative Order every other Saturday for a TTRPG where we play Conan. We won't be playing tomorrow, but we will be back August 27th. So check us out. So much fun. We play with Logan, the innkeeper of the Red Hare Inn.
Yeah. Lizzie?
Hi, I'm Lizzie. You can find me on Instagram and Twitter and Clubhouse at the Lizzie LD. I am very happy to be here. You can also find me on some Tuesday nights now as part of Egrium Expeditions, and you can follow me to see where else I might pop up on those social media accounts. On to the next one.
Yeah. April? Making Daniel wait to the end.
Hello, everyone. I felt like I was going to sneeze again.
Yeah.
My name is April Hill. You can find me at stiletto_assassin on Instagram and stiletto DM on Twitter. Oh, we've got a raid right as we're ending. I'm also the community manager for Modifius. So if you like games like Fallout, Conan, Dune, and stuff like that, Star Trek Adventures, we make those games. So we'd love to have you over there. So yeah.
Awesome. Okay. All right, Daniel.
Oh, this is because they all think I'm going to be verbose, which is fair. I mean,
Actually, it was because you got the cinematic moment at the end.
No, I'm teasing. For those who don't know, my name is Daniel Lieberman, known by many simply as Dragon. I am one half of Dragon Rock RPG, where alongside my dear friend, writing partner, Renee Beauregard, whose birthday it is today and has been in chat supporting us earlier. So thank you, Renee, who viewers of this channel know Renee alongside Karen and Lizzie playing in the Ecrium adventures, their regular ongoing campaign where he plays Perrin Hopesinger, the halfling bard. Renee and I design all kinds of things for D&D 5e, magic items, subclasses, races, you name it, we do it. We can be followed at Dragon Rock RPG Design on Instagram, at Dragon Rock RPG on Twitter and Facebook. That is rock spelled R-O-C without a K, like the giant mythical bird. You can find some of our supplements on DM's Guild. We have done subclasses for rangers, for barbarians, for warlocks, our icons of horror, where 5 different subclasses are based on different horror villains from cinema. We love collaborating with members of the community. I'm occasionally on streams here helping the innkeeper, Logan, brew up some things that he throws at his players or gives them as options. We also create things by commission. Please check us out on our socials. There are links to all of our DM's Guild releases, which are all free. Pay what you want, because we just want people to have them and have fun. If you like it, give it a review. That is the best thank you we can get. Other than that, I know what I do have to say, because the birthday boy is running it. Tomorrow night on our sister channel, our friends, the Initiative Order, which everybody here has been involved with in one form or another, Renee will be running The Mythical Melee, which is his PvP games, where he is the dungeon referee. And this is the finale of the Super Smash tournament, where we have made, Renee and I made 16 different stat blocks that Taryn played in as Sonic. April played in as Yoshi. Shelby is a past mythical melee champion, but all of the fighters in this are in fact Super Smash characters. So the finale with Mega Man, with Ike from Fire Emblem, with who else am I forgetting? Isabel, the literal underdog. And then who is the last one? Oh yes, no, I'm forgetting somebody. Mega Man, Isabel, Ike. Sheik.
Yeah.
Was the winner of the last one, who Ocarina of Time still holds a very good, nostalgic place in my heart. So yeah. So please check that on the initiative order tomorrow at 9 p.m. It's another wonderful community that has a great relationship with this one where we all swap back and forth. But I'm just happy to have had this wonderful game with these wonderful people. And Taryn, thank you. Good start.
I hope so. I'm not insecure. So my name is Taryn Hackett, also known as Valrook across the socials. I am a generally creative human, TTRPG player, and GM, and a dice maker. I am also an eldritch entity feeding on the silent horror of some of my favorite people. But I am a dice maker under the moniker of Umbral Oculus Dice. That is UO_dice on the Instagram. You can catch me here on Tuesday. I will be playing Hexblood Simonin role. Sweet baby who has a really brutal dark side, and I love it. Do the dice. And this Sunday I will be over at the initiative order, wrapping up my mini series Agents of Dune with an epically killer, beautiful cast. But it is our series finale. We teared up last session. It's an emotional thing. It's gonna be good, so come check me out there. I got other stuff I'm working on, like my own TTRPG, so that's a thing that I do. But yeah, so thank you guys so much for tuning in. Thank you for supporting us. Thank my beautiful players. It made my heart so happy. I hope you had fun, because I definitely did. I cannot wait for you to uncover the truths behind the curse, the ghost, and the little girl, because it's a lot. So we're gonna go raid now. Our buddy over Queer Venture Time. We're gonna do the raid thing. So stick around, join in on the raid, spread the love from the Red Hare Inn. Go share a pint. If you do pints or whiskey, if you're a whiskey person, I guess.
In honor of Shelby and Whiskey Reacts.
Yeah, and I'm a mule person. I'm a vodka.
Or your non-alcoholic drink of choice, if that's how
if you don't like alcohol, that's good too. Have a LaCroix. I don't know. I like those. But yeah, thank you.
Pineapple juice is what I usually get.
Thank you so much for joining us. We hope to see you again in 2 weeks, because this is gonna be alternating Fridays, so these guys figure it out or die. Thank you so much for tuning in. Bye.